What's up, guys? All right, this is going to be a continuation of what we talked a little bit about in our last video from half guard. So there's obviously a lot of different ways that you can situate yourself on top in half guard. I believe last time we addressed a situation where they have the far underhook and the near side head control. This one's a little bit different. They're kind of sat out on their hip and they're kind of pinning your head with their elbow a little bit. So Josh is going to help me out here. Let's go here. So he's pinning my head here this way, right? He's got his elbow on the floor, kind of pinning my head, right? He's sitting out on the side of his hip. If you come around here just a little bit, so he's blocking my exit to half guard here, okay? He's sitting kind of across my chest. There's a couple places they can kind of situate their weight, right? It's either on the floor, primarily on the floor, or primarily on you. Okay, so you kind of have to feel what's going on. Right now, if I close my eyes, I can feel that most of the weight is on the floor, okay? And now the way that he situated his body is, he is taking away my exit to maybe get back to guard or elevate him a little bit, but he is a little bit vulnerable here because his base isn't ideal. Okay, first of all, first things first, I want to make sure that I'm always controlling from the knee or higher. If I'm lower than the knee, I don't have good control over his hips. From here, he can kind of push down his knee. He can get into quarter mount, just, from here, right? He can maybe be in a good position to push my knee out and back step, long step here to pass. So, and by doing this, I really don't have great ability to kind of move his hips so much. I have a little bit, but not as much than when I'm above that knee. Okay? And when I'm above that knee, I also don't want to be above that knee with my feet off the floor because now I don't have any force off the floor to really do anything. Just swinging my hips isn't going to cut it left to right. Okay? So I want to cover the knee. I want to have some kind of contact with my feet on the floor. Okay, and this is going to be important for not only this move, but the moves that follow. This is like all of jiu-jitsu, all of our force comes from the floor. Okay, his leg is kind of trapped, right? He's blocking my exit, but he doesn't have a base out on this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep my arm here. I'm going to trap that leg at the same time, and I'm going to bridge up and over where I have now top half guard. Okay, I'm also in a nice position perhaps to maybe attack the arm triangle. We'll go over that finish at some point on the channel. So from here, he's sitting out, but he's compromised his base a little bit. He does not have something to save him. I can take him over at this 45-degree angle. I can take him even a little bit on this 90-degree angle right here, right? And I can bridge and come up and over. In some cases, you may bridge and get into the closed guard. Not a problem. Most importantly, I'm on top and I'm out of this top half. So, in some cases, let's say he's kind of messing with this space and he's sliding his knee out and about right here. And he might be pinning my chest just a little bit. Okay, so I can't really take him out here. He's pinning my chest. He's got some good weight on my chest. His leg is kind of based out a little bit. So that little that little bridge and roll is not really there. Okay, first of all, I'm going to try to bring my elbow in just a little bit. I'm going to try to rock his body just a little bit until I can get this hook. Okay, if I can get on the side of my hip, I'm putting my foot on the ground to get on the side of my hip, all the while always controlling this leg, of course. I don't want to let this leg go free. This is always keeping this leg in check. I'm keeping that control above the knee as well. I'm getting on the side of my hip, and I'm keeping this hook. Okay? I have two options. I'm either going to take him over to my right, right? If his weight is settled down on this side, once I have this hook, I can always sweep him. I do not sweep, just like we went over in butterfly guard. If you guys want to check it, we have another butterfly guard sweep, I believe, on the YouTube channel. I don't extend my leg away from me. This leg always stays home. I pull my knee actually up into my chest, and this bottom leg is what does the work. I'm pushing off the ground, pushing off the ground. My leg never extends away from me. And now I get on top, and again, I'm in a nice position potentially for an arm triangle. But most importantly, I'm on top, okay? Now, it's not always that easy, okay? I get this hook, and this time he starts to put weight on me over on this side. So now his base is out, so I can't take him over to that side. This is saving him, so I can't take him over to that side. And he's kind of putting some weight on me a little bit. What do we do here? So from here, I'm actually going to scoop my hips underneath. I'm going to take his leg just a little bit. I'm not lifting him up. I'm just going to kind of guide him. I can use my elbow underneath his hip, underneath his quad. In some cases, I could put my hand underneath his knee, but I'm going to use this foot to scoot underneath. You'll notice my leg is not extended. All I'm doing is getting my hips directly underneath his hips. I'm underneath his center of mass, right? And I'm going to place him over to my left. I'm not trying to drive him over there. I'm just placing him down on the mat. And simultaneously, I'm going to try to get my head and hips higher than his hips. And my head higher than his head. This is important if I want to win a lot of these kind of scrambles. Okay? From here, it's going to be way easier. I already have good position to be able to follow him, right? If he decides to roll away from me, I can follow. I'm with him the whole time. Where I can lose control of him is if he has his head and his hips higher than my head and my hips. Here, okay? If I'm a little bit lazy here and I haven't elevated my position and he goes to roll, I can maybe lose where he gets to a guard position. Not the end of the world, right? But I could have capitalized with a back take there. Right? I'm in a much better position to submit him from the back than I am face to face with him in his butterfly guard, right? Let's try it again. Okay, I don't want my legs flying up in the air. I don't need to triangle my legs here. I'm just keeping them connected to me. This isn't doing anything. I can achieve the same level of control with just this leg. I'm controlling past the knee. My leg is on top of his knee, not lower than his knee. It's above his knee, okay? And I'm gonna play with the position a little bit. If he's being stubborn, if he's being heavy, I feel like his weight is here. He may shift it back onto me or back off of me, depending on what I'm doing. As I'm moving, he's trying to isolate me and control me. So grappling is a living, breathing thing. Okay, it's constantly adapting. We have to constantly stay adapted to each other. So as I'm here, right, I'm gonna try to move him. Now I have a hook. Now, see that leg is kind of pretty far off the ground. This may allow me to have a good connection here. Okay, and in doing so, as I do this, if he wants his arm out on this side, I don't want to be too lazy with my hand here, with my head here. Okay, if my head is here and I go to lift him, he may remove that back. And now get chin and shoulder and head control. Now I'm back to where we started. Now again, not the end of the world. We can go back to the other technique for the other half guard that we showed on the YouTube channel. But if I have an opportunity to capitalize, why not keep it? The way I can keep it is by keeping my head back against his tricep. I'm scooting in, my hips are directly under his hips. I'm elevating, I'm letting him fall to the side, and I'm raising my head and hips higher than his. I can break him down here this way, throw that hook in. I can get this kind of control with that kind of half hook here. I can, let's go here. As he goes to roll, go ahead. I can throw this in, potentially get a body triangle, right? There's a bunch of different ways I can do it, but I want to put my body in a position to win ahead of time. I don't want to have to rely on flexibility, speed, and strength to kind of catch up with him. And the way you can do that from the back, oftentimes, is by keeping my head and hips just above his. That's going to allow you to kind of win a lot of these transitions. Maybe not every single time, but at least you're going to get the better end of the deal. So again, guys, hope this was helpful. Just another way to deal with a different position when they're on top in half guard. And any questions, anything that's not exactly clear, let me know, post them in the comments, and I'll do my best to address them. Obviously there's a ton of stuff to do in half guard. You can only address so much, but I feel like I'm trying to pick a few easy moves that are easy to understand that you guys can apply in a variety of ways. And that helps you, especially for those guys that are kind of coming up in the game and trying to figure out, what they're supposed to do on bottom from here. So hopefully this gives you some good answers. And again, use this in combination with some of the other techniques on the channel. There's another half guard video that we did relatively recently. If you want to look that up, that's more the underhook and head control. But that's it, guys.